I would like to start with this picture, actually. And people are disappearing. This was a representation of all the people that are dying from sudden cardiac death every minute. And sudden cardiac death is one of the most severe consequences of an arrhythmic episode. It basically means that your heart stops. And if we look further on statistics, actually, let's say in this room, we're quite many in here, a fifth of you, 20%, will eventually suffer from this as well. And as the name also implies, this is very sudden. You don't know who this will happen to. And if it happens, only 5% will be successfully resuscitated. So the causes to why you get sudden cardiac death, there are so many, they don't know which will be the underlying cause for your particular event. So the focus to prevent this is to early detect patients that are in the risk group so that you can have preventive treatment. It can be medication, and sometimes you have to undergo some surgery so you can get an ICD, which is an implantable device that can, in the case of the emergency, give you a life-saving shock. The dilemma, however, is to find those at risk. Today, physicians can only say, yeah, you belong to a high-risk group, you can get treatment. You belong to a low-risk group, you don't get any treatment. So this basically means that people who are in the high-risk group but don't need the treatment gets it, and people in the low-risk group that actually need a treatment won't get it. So this is basically the problem that we in DeltaVital has been targeting for almost a year. And you can see that we are developing a risk assessment tool for sudden cardiac death. So what is this? In our project, we have a medical software in which the unique knowledge of our ID providers is embedded. This software is utilizing ECG signals. And it can then calculate out a numerical, it sounds like a miracle almost, output that can be used for individual risk prediction. So this is what we have been trying to develop. And this have the possibility so we can actually identify patients among these 20% that are not found today. So we also looked in a little bit to the market. Is there a need for this, except for people dying? Of course, we want to prevent that. So we saw that the products out there, usually it is high-end product, which means that they are quite good. Well, they're really good, but they are also quite expensive. This is not totally in line with that hospitals are experiencing more squeezed budgets due to older populations that usually is sicker. So there is almost a screaming need for enable hospitals to provide cost-efficient care. So we'll also look further on, can we see this among the products that are developed for the medtech market? And we saw that products today are mainly focusing on being able to detect people that are already sick. But we are developing an analytical tool that can actually predict which persons will be our patients in the future. And when we can do that, we can also put in preventive action already in the beginning, before it happens. So, at present, we have a proof of concept, but this software needs to be tested on data from a larger patient groups. So we need to validate it a little bit more. But since neither me or Sid will continue this promising project, which since it can save lots of lives, the board for this project is currently looking for a part-time entrepreneur to investigate financial options after the summer. So if this is interesting to save lives, you can take contact with one of the board members. He's somewhere in here, Erik Rådbo at incubator.com. He has his phone number here as well. So if you're not interested in this position, hopefully you are interested enough to keep an eye on this project in the future. Thank you.